So we have another guest. Tyler. So Tyler was actually not at the facility we went to, but we went to the women's facility, which was much smaller. And I caught Tyler in action, and I was able to kind of ask him a number of questions because I observed some stuff that was up there. And I was like, Tyler, how does this work? I mean, what are you working on? I like, you know what? You just need to come in and let us tell your story. So we'd love to have your story. I'm going to
Sure.
give you this and give you a chance to tell us a little bit about what you do. Well, what is City Team,
Mhm.
and then what you do at City Team. So thank you for coming down here. The floor is yours.
Okay, thanks very much, Paul. Hi, everyone. I'm Tyler. I've been in this role as the program manager for City Team at Work Oakland since April, but I've been working at City Team for about 2 years. I started at City Team with purely just doing outreach 5 days a week, going into encampments and sending invitation to people and programs. But what I do with Outwork is we track every client who comes through our doors, every client who's a part of our programs, and we make sure that we do our best to help remove those barriers. And I get 2 hours time dedicated to the ladies at their ladies program and 2 hours of time dedicated to the men in the men's program. And in those 2 hours, sometimes I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off. There's a lot of hands that go up and need my assistance, whether it's technical or a major issue someone needs to overcome. I am there to help. And newly implemented by my request, the house manager Curtis over in Oakland has made it happen for me to have a dedicated intern just for me, just so I can hand off a lot of the things and deal with the big fish to fry. But in order to really demonstrate all the specifics of what goes on in Oakland, we actually have a video that I didn't make. Sammy from our marketing department made. It does a really good job summing up everything we do. So I'll just go ahead and show that and circle back and give you guys the big stats there. And I'm going to give Paul. Paul, is it ready? Uh, Okay. Oh, it's right here. Okay. I'm the one pushing the buttons. Okay. And I did, and that's a shout out. I did start as a volunteer at City Team. I volunteered at City Team for about 10 years before I started working there. Um, and you can ask me about that later. I'll gladly give my story. But Josh is a much better person to talk about what City Team can do for you. But here's our video, and I'm assuming I just press spacebar here, and that gets it started. Okay, here we go.
At City Team Oakland, our goal is to ignite hope and restore lives in our city. Our multiple programs address hunger, homelessness, poverty, and addiction. No matter the story or circumstance, we welcome every guest with open arms and provide pathways towards lasting change. Our care begins with the essentials. Since 1954, City Team Oakland has served nutritious hot meals to our unhoused neighbors and offered emergency overnight shelter to men. Clothing, showers, and hygiene products are available to all guests. Our City Team Renew residential program is for men struggling with addictive behavior. Life skills classes, one on one mentoring, spiritual empowerment, and service to the community are all a part of this year long journey towards life restoration. City Team Turning Point serves working men who are facing homelessness and need supportive transitional housing until they regain financial stability. Our Youth Collective program is for young men ages 18 to 24 who are at risk of experiencing homelessness or exiting the foster care system. Residents are equipped with essential life skills and are encouraged to pursue a college degree. Our Women's Turning Point program serves women and children who need supportive transitional housing to prevent homelessness. This safe and secure home is a stepping stone towards independent living, where women are able to heal from past trauma and break cycles of dysfunction. All residential programs offer vocational training through City Team at Work, our learning and career center. Residents pursue lasting change by obtaining a living wage job and securing stable housing. Graduates transition out of City Team with professional qualifications, career goals, and economic mobility. Beyond our residential programs, City Team in the neighborhood hosts numerous mobile pantries for food insecure families in Alameda County. The pantries distribute fresh groceries, and our pop up closets offer free clothing. Special seasonal items are also distributed to ease additional financial burdens. Our trucks visit local churches, schools, and community centers on a reliable schedule. Our services are only made possible thanks to so many volunteers and supporters. As a team, we are able to provide lasting solutions 365 days a year, whether it be through a hot meal, safe shelter, fresh groceries, or a listening ear. Together, we are able to ignite hope and restore lives in the city of Oakland.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So that was a nice break for me. Catch my breath. Yeah, so quick stats. These are all from 2024. I'll go in reverse order because I like this order better. Of all our programs, men's and women's, in 2024, we have 33 graduates. It's a year-long program that we offer. So 33 is a pretty strong number for that. And from our pantries, which, as Sammy mentioned in the video, there's 18 of them throughout Alameda County. 5 days a week, we're bringing out goods from Alameda County Food Bank, and we are bringing out clothes to these different locations. 2024 alone, we served over 99,000. It says right here, 99,072. So that's a pretty good number right there. From people within our Renew program, 41 of them have acquired jobs, both clients and graduates in 2024. This number is the one I'm actually most proud of because it is possibly the most difficult thing for many people to achieve. But we had 51 family reunifications of our clients in here at CityTeam Oakland. And this was a standout, but we, as Josh mentioned, we serve meals out of our Oakland's men's program, 3 meals a day. So add up to about 159,567 hot meals served out of that building to the community. Yeah. And two other big standouts for me. We had 6 residents obtain their high school diploma or their GED. So that's awesome right there. And 53 of our clients joined church community groups. And that's a big piece of our aftercare formula. So I'm going to get into the history of CityTeam a little bit because many of you may have heard of CityTeam, may have seen CityTeam. The impression might be we're a big, powerful national organization. In actuality, we started and have just been very strategic with our investments throughout our history. We've been around since 1957. It started as a hot soup kitchen in San Jose and quickly evolved into a men's shelter. And from that, we've developed hundreds of programs all over the world. And not all of them are big like what we have in Oakland. Some of them are just a small group in like Honduras that we sponsor to do similar things to what we're doing here. And lastly, C-Team has 5 major sites in cities across the United States: San Jose, Oakland, San Francisco. We also have Chester, Pennsylvania, and Portland, Oregon is our 5 existing sites, major sites. And to get into the nitty gritty of Oakland, we've been here in Oakland since 1998, and we are in the midst of retrofitting our headquarters, as you guys have seen from the photos and the video. And it also has a women's only location located in Oakland, but we don't reveal the address of that location to protect the clients living there. And we are operating 8 programs. In the men's, we have a program called C-Team Connect, C-Team Turning Point, C-Team Renew, C-Team in the Neighborhood, and C-Team at Work. That's my department. And at the women's, you saw we also have involvement over there at C-Team at Work, but we also have a Turning Point and Renew program. If you guys are wondering what all those names mean, I'll just share that Connect is, oh, sorry about that. Okay, so Connect is a first come, first serve shelter that is for men in the city of Oakland. And with that, we shelter at the moment, we have 14 beds currently available. And in 2024, we had 3,439 people who spent the night with us at that first come, first serve shelter. And once we get our construction done, we'll have the ability to open up more space for those beds. Um, we also have City Team in the Neighborhood, which, as I mentioned, Alameda County Food Bank provided goods and 18 different sites 5 days a week. And again, that's over 90,000 people served. Turning Point, this is the one that people are really confused about, but just to clarify with this really simple way of remembering it, it's transitional housing. We have 10 beds for men, and then at the women's house, we have 28 available beds for women and their children. So we have dedicated rooms to women with children, and it's roommate situation for people who are in transitional housing with our women. And to talk about the program Josh was talking a lot about earlier, uh, we have our Renew program, and again, we have 33 graduates in 2024. But on top of that, we also track sobriety for 2 years after graduation. So for the people who graduated in 2023, about 85% of them remain sober. And for those who graduated in 2022, about 69% of them remain sober. Thank you for the snaps. I really appreciate them. Makes me feel good. Last slide here, just giving you the general idea of all of our slides. As John mentioned, Josh mentioned, we serve 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner out of our program, and that meal is provided and cooked by the clients. The food comes in from Alameda County Food Bank, and we outsource if we have to. Sometimes we have food donations from grocery stores. But part of what is so successful about the Renew program at City Team is we force the guys to engage with our clients, with our guests. We force our clients to engage with our guests, not just with sharing meals with them and having them open up about their story and what City Team's doing for them, but also just perpetual invitations to come on, you can join in with me and do what I'm doing. And it's also, we teach cooking skills in what we have. So the guys who want a culinary path will be cooking a lot of meals for a lot of people, getting a lot of practice doing that. To discuss my program, CityTeam at Work, again, that's at both houses. And for anyone in our Renew program, which is our restoration program, they are required to attend CityTeam at Work's Learning Center. And in our Learning Center, we do have a Google Classroom that we provide all of our clients to attend. The way it works is we have Chromebooks where everyone is provided an email login, and once they're able to log in, they're to set out for 2 hours a day, either focusing on the assignments we've given them, which would include career development, financial literacy, and digital literacy, or if they have major obstacles to overcome, work towards overcoming those obstacles, of course, with our help. And a few examples of those obstacles, or it could be something as simple as, I need to get my driver's license. Okay, great. You can take practice tests here. Or another one might be, I need some help with record expungement. Okay, well, we outsource with an organization called Elevate, where they assist us with that. And we allow phone time for people to talk with lawyers and people to talk with their parole officers and all of those things. So one thing we really believe at Outwork is everyone has a greater potential than they actually even know. And we help people seek to understand that potential that they have. And required for graduation from City Team Renew is job acquisition. So we're not sending people back out into the environment that they were in without having a job first. And GED or high school diploma acquisition is heavily encouraged, and they can use Learning Center time to work towards that. And aftercare support is a big part of what we do as well. 53 Renew clients and graduates have joined faith communities in 2024. That's heavily encouraged at City Team. And part of what we believe is we don't want to send you out without any friends or any support system to be without after you've left our doors. And we also have 20 interns currently at City Team. And to intern with us means you can continue to live with us and you get a stipend for your work with us. Currently, we have 13 men and 7 women who are interning with us. And included in our internship course, as Josh mentioned, we offer KDAC sponsorship so they can do the KDAC classes. So if they want to, they can become drug and alcohol addiction recovery counselors. And now we get to the really fun stuff for you guys, what I call our secret ingredients. So a lot of people think we do really fancy things or we have unlimited funding, and that's not it. We have some secret ingredients here. First, our mission statement is at the base of all of these secret ingredients. Our mission statement is to share Christ's unconditional and redemptive love by caring for immediate needs and offering lasting solutions. So the two standouts right there for the general public: offer immediate needs and lasting solutions. So everyone out in the community is welcome to come and join us and eat with us. And in those meals, we're going to be offering an ear and listening to you about anything you want to talk to us about. But if an opportunity arises, we can offer for them to get on a list to get on into our programs. We also engage with the community to extend our reach. We don't just offer uh, clothing and goods at our pantries. We also provide information to join our programs. And in our programs, people will think, oh, well, I'm not addicted to anything. It's like, well, we can still offer career development. We can still offer anything else that might assist you in transitioning out of your current situation. We also offer a funnel system with consistent program invitations, and that's what I mentioned there. And I'm about to show you guys a visual aid for our funnel system. Um, but once they're in our system, it's a holistic approach. Like, we believe that restoration requires more than just sobriety. Like, it's great if you get sober, but if we send you back out there without you overcoming past issues or any of the barriers you're currently facing, we're not setting you up for success. And we really, really don't want to see you come back in these doors worse off than when you came in here before. And with City Team at Work, we're a big part of this. We foster potential. And I mentioned earlier about potential and the importance of people understanding that. But in that, we do SMART goal setting, and we offer training and barrier removal. And we also, this is a shout out to anyone with an organization or might have a company that's looking to hire people. We make time for people to come and speak with our clients. And whether that be in a group setting or one-on-one basis, one thing a lot of our clients consistently face is just not knowing where to go next. And part of what we do is educate our clients as to not only their potential, but what options are available. And we also want to expand those options as much as possible. Lastly, once again, aftercare. And this is just the call out about us and aftercare. Our work with our clients does not end at graduation. And a lot of our clients, like Josh is one of our most wonderful examples. A lot of our clients transition to intern with us, and many of those people who have done internships with us end up on our staff, because we wholeheartedly believe one of the best ways for people to believe in their own potential is to see living examples of people who were just in their shoes a short time prior. And this last visual aid I have is what I created here to sort of demonstrate people's progress. And I believe in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I believe within that hierarchy, if people are just getting food and shelter, that they're really only scratching the surface of their totality of the needs they have. If they're getting food and shelter, they might be experiencing their basic psychological needs being cared for, and they might be getting a temporary sense of security, but they might not be experiencing a love and belonging. They might not be experiencing a development of a community. And I'll just share this from my experience in doing outreach. What I see a lot of times is people who end up in temporary housing situations, they choose not to go stay in them. They'll go there and they'll shower, but then the reason why they don't stay there permanently or in enough time to transition into a better situation is because their community is no longer with them. the community they had was out in the streets. They had friends, maybe family members, maybe loved ones that they were living with, that they had to make a choice, either a shelter or my community. And unfortunately, that is a big piece of the puzzle that is missing for a lot of our solution that we're trying to offer for this world that is unfortunately seeing this problem continue to grow. But self-esteem comes from people not only being told what their potential is, but also coming to situations where their potential is being revealed to them. As a requirement of graduation for Renew is for them to get a job. And oftentimes we'll have clients tell us, it's like, oh yeah, no, I can go just work at this fast food place and I'll be fine. That's what I was doing before this. And we tell them like, well, you actually can achieve a whole lot more. And rather than for you taking the easy route, here's the hard route, but look at the pay difference. The hard route is going to require you to use your time at City Team to get like an HVAC certification or get a forklift training license or anything like that. So you can go start pursuing a higher level of income. Because the unfortunate reality is here in the Bay Area, the cost of living is so high. Um, what is a living wage, like $23 an hour, $24 an hour? That is way too steep for someone who is trying to reintegrate with just a job in fast food. Um, and lastly, aftercare. What we offer in our intern program is not just, hey, you go do the basics of what you were doing while you were a client, and you go just be security for people when they're um, eating food with us. No, actually, what we do is weekly trainings. As an intern at City Team, every week we have a training on how to go above and beyond. One of our training days we have is pursuing your own actualization. And what does that look like for you? Our training this week was all about how to do active listening with your clients. Because what is the use of us investing so much in our people who are our clients if they're not going to feel like they're being listened to? So they're taking these skills we're teaching them as interns and bringing it to their future careers, whether that be as a caseworker here with us at City Team or anywhere else in the environment. And also, it helps with their conversational skills. Sometimes people come into City Team without a great developed sense of connection with people. But with our training, what we offer them, all of a sudden they're great at interviews because they spend all this time investing in conversational things and connecting with clients about important things. Josh, by the way, he's one of the bravest people on the planet. Um, he's not afraid of anything. When I told him, like, you're going to come here and you're going to speak to a group of people about your story. And the question was, how many people are going to be there? And I was like, I don't know, maybe 1,000. And he wasn't scared whatsoever. But he's gotten so used to sharing his story, he came here and was able to convey it to you guys. So Josh, I'm really grateful for the work you've been doing. So that about wraps it with what I have to share
So,
with you guys.
so Tyler, we have some questions. Like, you
Oh
guys
boy.
do. So you guys do a lot of work in Oakland. Who are the organizations and the businesses that come around and support you guys? We were there and we watched neighbors from the area come in and get food. How are you able to feed not only your programs but also the neighbors that were there that were in need as well?
Yeah, great question. Most of our food does come from Alameda County Food Bank, but we do have budget specifically for protein. So if we don't have enough chicken or beef, then Josh, do you know where he knows? Where do we get our protein?
So we deal with an organization called Wild Fork. They have a lot of meat that they donate through us. We get a lot of meat through the ports that if packages come through without the USDA label, um, we get it. They can't process that out of their freezer holdings, and we get a lot of that. So
That's amazing. What about the clothes? Where do you guys have this amazing clothing closet and process? Where do those come from?
Those are all donated.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and this is a little tidbit on that. Uh, City Team shares all their resources, and San Jose gets way too many clothes because they have like 50 different pantries there, and because of all those connections, people just bring clothes there. So often we'll get hundreds of items from them because they're overflowing at the ears, but we might be scarce sometimes. So we get a lot.
That's amazing. So one of the things I thought was truly amazing is as you're recovering, your physical ability is one of the things that most people neglect in recovery. But you guys have converted a room down in that basement as a weight room, as a way for people to get really healthy. How did you guys come up with that? Who helps you with that? How do you guys kind of figure out, how to engage with folks and how to set up a program for them?
So a lot of that stuff was donated from either high schools or the Laney College, Chabot College. They'll donate stuff when they get their new equipment to us, and we set up that area. It's got a lot of weights in there, a lot of machines in there for the guys, and it's just something to do in their free time. They have a lot of free time when they're not working on their step work. If you're healthy and your mind's right, you're going to feel right. You're going to want to change the way the things you're doing. So,
Right. And just to add to that too, sometimes I have guest speakers come in about physical health as well, but usually clients are influencing other clients. We have a sort of a system at City Team where the people who are still with us when in the gets work to job phase, they reach down an offering hand. It's like, hey, nice to meet you. We have a Big Brother system as well. You're looking a little flabby. Come on, let's get into the weight room.
That's great. I love that. You said you do about 18 things in the community. What are some of the things you do in your community? And are you working with outside organizations when you do those community events?
Yeah, great question. So yes, we do have 18 different locations, which are pantries and pop-ups all over Alameda County, and that's all people who reach out to us. Usually, they're either a church or a small nonprofit organization that wants to expand their reach. There's a form on our website, cteam.org, where you can go and fill out the form to pick up one of our pantry locations.
Nice. And are there other things that like folks like us that we can do to help your organization get involved in volunteering? What are some of the things that a group like us would get involved with at City Team?
Yeah, certainly. There's a lot of opportunity at City Team. If you're looking just to volunteer, if you go to cityteam.org, it has a portal called I Want to Help. If you click that, it'll give you our full calendar of volunteer opportunities. But outside of that, we're always open to collaborate. I left my card and some of our flyers over on those stools over there. So if you want to email me, you can either catch me today or grab my card and send me an email. Something for City Team at Work, what we really benefit from is companies and organizations that come to us and are willing to come speak to our guys for an hour about what opportunities they have. A great example in San Jose, there were a bunch of clients who wanted to work at Tesla. So the director of City Team at Work just contacted someone at Tesla. It's like, hey, do you want to come over here and talk to our guys, show them how to work for us? And lo and behold, after that, it turned into 4 clients at City Team San Jose working for Tesla now. So that sort of thing was what happens when we just open the doors.
So I know that when I went to the facility, oh, hold on. I got a question for you.
Thank you so much. That was super informative.
Thanks.
And thank you for sharing your story. Could you tell us a little bit more about the Big Brother program and how it's structured? And second question is, what are some of the barrier removal strategies, or what are some of the most common barriers that you guys see and help with?
Okay.
I'll add to that because
Yeah.
so the Big Brother thing is when a gentleman comes into the program, we have the upper programmers reach out to them and help guide them through the program. You know, they've already gone through some of the struggles these gentlemen are about to face in the next 30, 60, 90 days. You know, some guys come in and there's a 30-day no blackout period where they're not allowed to call to their families, talk to their children. And it's good to be able to talk to somebody who can tell you, hey, just wait the 30 days, hold on. Your kids are safe. They're going to be there. and you're going to get that phone call on your 30th day. And it also helps them with their step work. They're working on 12 steps of AA. Then they're doing anger management packets, uh, numerous classes that they're going through. So it's kind of like a buddy system that they use in the program.
Yeah, and then barrier removal. The most common barriers receive people without birth certificates or social security cards. And those are the simplest ones we continually face. But some people might have legal expungement issues. Josh, you didn't share this thing. Do you want
Yeah.
to share that?
Yeah, so I've been to, like I said, I spent a lot of time in prison. I've been to prison 7 times. I just had 13 felonies removed from my record. So I only have a couple more that I need to wait a little more time, because my end game is to become a drug court counselor and help guys transitioning out of courts, even transitioning out of prisons that are lifers that are getting dates, help them find housing and do things of that nature, because that's probably one of the biggest barriers is your record, especially when somebody goes to pull your record and they see that you have all these things there. It's I'll just share a little story. I've been to prison for stealing ATM machines right out of the wall. And I went to go apply for somewhere, and the guy said, if you can steal ATM machines, I don't want you in my business because you can steal everything I have. And that was the most demoralizing thing ever, but it's the truth. And so, I went in there trying to be honest about it. And
Yeah, and honesty is the best policy. And just to speak also to barrier removal, common thing is people have had a DUI and then they just went into some time in jail and came out and just forgot it's on their record. So we offered pathways to DUI classes. So during our learning center time, they could be on a Zoom session, overcoming their DUI barrier. And the barriers vary, but we take it case by case. And sometimes when it's a really complex issue, we outsource. There's a organization called Elevate, which we work with a lot with to help our guys out.
Hey, oh, thanks so much for sharing. I used to live in West Oakland, and a lot of my neighbors my I had this issue where, like, a lot of my direct neighbors were, they call themselves street people.
Mm.
And I always wanted to think of like ways that they can get out of their current profession and into, something that's not illegal. And so I was just curious, like, if I were to recommend City Team to them, what would give them a leg up into like getting into a program or like being chosen? Because they have they're really sensitive about like not being chosen or like
Mhm.
being rejected away from something if they tried.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really hard thing with anyone who's dealing with any level of addiction. Uh, every program that I can think of has requirements of sobriety, and that in itself might be a barrier. But to speak to how it operates in Oakland for the ladies, it's first come, first serve, and it's seasonal. Sometimes there is room, and sometimes there's not, and the waiting period could be a month or longer. And in the time when it starts raining is when things start really filling up. But I just want to encourage you to when you are reaching out and helping this person, provide like a piece of paper with as many different organizations as you can. And if City Team doesn't work, try this. That doesn't work, try that. And the reality is, when it's raining, it might be them waiting for a period of time before they can get into a program. But if that's the case, if you have a good relationship with this person, maybe I challenge if they're open to having a meal with you, sit them down maybe at a restaurant and talk about maybe their plan and see if they're comfortable going past Oakland's borders too, because Oakland is also one of the most impacted areas, but Hayward not as much, San Leandro not as much. Fremont has more room than those other two cities, so just thanks.
and also we have if they come to our program and they're not a fit for our program, we will actually take the time to help them find a program that will take them. For instance, we're not a dual diagnosis program, but we will help them find a program that deals with co-occurring disorders. And to, the big thing about addiction, a lot of people overlook is the mental health aspect. And that's what really needs to be addressed together as one.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Josh. That was very, very good story, and I am so glad to see people like you are being model for other people. A great story, and you're a very brave person. Tyler, thank you so much for all the information. Very eye-opening. Quick question: How much? How do you decide how many people and which people can come in? If you have capacity for 50 people, 75 shows up. What about those? How do you decide which 25 are not going to get in?
So really what we do is we have a screening process we go through, and we will take as many people as we can. It's very rare that we turn people away. Um, we do have two things that we will screen people out for, which is registered sex offenders, because there are children on site. I don't know if anybody paid much close attention, but there was a picture of a little picture frame with a little boy. That's my 8-year-old son. He comes there every other weekend. I'm picking him up this Friday. I'll have him for 10 days. So we do have children on site. Other than that, some mental health issues we are not suited to deal with. Antipsychotic, severe bipolar disorders, but we will help those people get to other programs. So it's very rare that somebody comes to us that we don't bring into our program or help find a program that's suitable to them, because we'll even take them in for a couple days knowing that it's going to take a few days to get this person to Cura or a Cronin House or all these different other organizations that we partner with, because we don't want them out on the streets. We try to help everybody we can, and we meet everybody where they're at.
Yeah, and to add to that really quick, there is an observance period for all people entering our program. So within a few weeks, if we can tell we won't be able to handle their needs, usually with mental health is a factor, then we'll hopefully, if nothing happens, be able to provide them shelter until we can get them a new program that can work for them.
Just had a question about, do you allow, is it completely abstinence, or do you allow different medications, like if they needed, like they're bipolar, something like, just wondering what the stance is with CityTeam for that.
So what we do is we will bring people in with certain types of medication, and we will send them to their therapist and see if there's alternate medications, and try and go that route, because it's the type of medication that we don't want to have on the property, because then we would actually need to have like some type of medical staff if we were more clinical. And since we're a nonprofit, there's certain limitations to what we can do with our staff on site. So you look very familiar. Have you been to CityTeam? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just it people come in with bags of medication, and we try, and the biggest thing that we deal with is, okay, do you deal with the addiction, or are we going to keep them on all these pills? And the ultimate goal, my standpoint is, let's get them off of everything. But there's certain things that we can't. But what we can do is try and manage what they're on to manage their mental health. I've seen clients go from 13 pills to 1 pill. And it's, I don't want to, a lot of it has to do with their meditation, their spirituality. Sometimes a lot of people are misdiagnosed in this type of field. You go to a therapist and you're telling them you're seeing voices and all this stuff. Yeah, but you didn't tell them you've been on meth for the last 13 days, you know? So there's a lot of issues, but we try and meet people with where they're at, bring them in, see what their medications are, send them to a therapist. What can we do? And then we go from there. And like he said, we have a 30-day policy, so we can at least work with them.
And to clarify this, with psychiatrists, we'll make sure they connect with a psychiatrist, so someone legally allowed to make medical advice, do medical advice. Hi.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you ever get referrals from the police for 5150s, the category of people who are, not dangerous to themselves or to others, but people who are in need of this sort of care of housing and such?
Yeah. So if you call 211, which is for a lot of mental health and crises on the streets, you could have anywhere from, like, it's called the macro team for the fire department will show up and assist the police. We get these organizations in Oakland, like Uptown, Downtown. They may bring people that they've noticed this person's been at the bus stop for the last 3 days and doesn't look like they've gone anywhere to eat. So they'll bring them to us, or, they'll come, hey, can we get some food to take to them? We do a lot of outreach with food meals to go, every day. What's today? Wednesday. So we'll do 35 meals for dinner to the Alameda shelter. We'll do 100 for the macro team, and they distribute them out. But a lot of times, if it's a severe mental health issue, they'll take them to John George, and then John George will either take them to Cherry Hill for further detox, and then Cherry Hill will call us. We'll screen them over the phone, and yeah, we work with everybody. We get tons of calls all day long. So
I'll add to that too. This
Yeah.
is an important aspect. We recognize that sometimes someone just gets a 5150 because they had a bad day, and police, the simplest way to remove someone is to apply a 5150. And I've met people who are completely level-headed, not even at all near a 5150, and they have it on the record just because someone wanted to move them. So we, just like with anyone who comes in with openly about their mental health, if they come in with a 5150, we'll handle it the same way.
I've only recently started to hear about your ministry and your programs, and it's just a really strong reputation that you have in the city. I have not heard of you before until I met a couple of people who came through your program and were raving about it. And the track record is just, it seems to be very outstanding
Thank you.
compared to other programs I've heard of. So my question is, your program sounds very structured. And I know a lot of men, sometimes when they don't have structure in their lives, they have behavioral issues or attitude issues that prevent them from being able to stick with something for a while, for the duration that your program requires. How do you deal with that? What degree of flexibility do you have to work with guys who just don't have that kind of structure, an understanding of discipline and cooperation to work with you?
So we have a couple different things. There's a thing we say, well, why don't you Matthew 18 him? And that's where that's where you'll come and talk to him. And if it doesn't work, then you'll bring another brother and talk to him. And you're right. A lot of these guys are coming off the streets. Yeah, they may have detoxed somewhere for 3-4 days, but for your brain to actually be correct, it takes like almost 18 months for your brain to get back to the way it was before drugs. So their thinking isn't right. Their attitude isn't right. The way they react to, being told, hey, it's time to get up at 5:30 and go cook oatmeal for 100, community members. It's kind of rough on them the first day, but we give them a little bit of grace. We don't push them into the kitchen right away. And we just try and talk to them. If it continues on, there's certain things like, hey, write me a 500-word essay on accountability, or on about, why you should be more understanding of the community members, because it is kind of, like Tyler had said, they cook the meals for the community members, and these community members aren't always the nicest people. I mean, there's guys, I've been punched in the face, I've been spit on, other guys have been spit on, we've had fecal matter thrown at us, but we just have to let that go and move on. And a lot of guys, when they're new, don't like it, but as you get there a while and you understand, why these people are acting this way. You just kind of take it with a grain of salt and just pray for them.
I have something to add there too. So uh, we kind of wade people into more and more responsibility. The first like week where they're in that blackout period, we're not making them do a lot of chores. We're letting them get that reset, and then also emphasizing the big brother aspect of the whole thing. And lastly, we have an open door policy. So if someone wants to go, the door's right there. But we also have like a third time, 3 times. Like, oh, if you want to leave, you can't get back in the program for how long is it? A month?
Yeah, 30 days.
30 days. But if you come back, all right, you only get one more of these. So there are some people who will go out and come back, and then their third time is the time they actually make it, because as hard as it is, waking up at 5:30 and providing meals for 100 people, being out there is harder, and the deep down, sometimes they have to fall to stand back up. Hi.
So my question is there's one in San Francisco? If so, where is it, and what's y'all's relationship, and do they have volunteers, and compare and contrast y'all with them?
Yeah, great question. So we do have one in San Francisco. It's in the Tenderloin. So we don't have a Renew program there, because ideally for people in our Renew programs, we want to provide them a really safe environment to recover and not be surrounded by the chaos that is in the Tenderloin. But our clients from Oakland will go up to San Francisco to provide the meals there. So it is potentially a city team goal to have more presence in San Francisco. In fact, they used to have more programs there, but there was a big flood that affected the property there. So unfortunately, with a lot of things in the Tenderloin area, things had to be moved around. But we're open to growth if that's an opportunity. Anything else to add?
But San Francisco is really a food distribution center. That's what they do. You can go get meals, hot meals, food boxes, take a shower, but they just don't have the Renew program or the Turning Point program there. But they're more of a community services hub for people in that area.
So I want to thank you guys for coming down here. Really
Thanks.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.